Hello everyone, it's Jebro. Today I'm going to judge myself. I'm going to judge myself hard. Because sometimes, or a lot of the time, I know what to do, but I don't do it. You know, like I do it a lot. Sometimes I randomly dodge because I just like to dodge. Don't ask me why. I just do. Okay, and I've never said that I'm the best PvPer in the world. So hopefully you don't put that against me, you know. I'm just a normal man, normal bald man, with normal feelings and normal emotions. And that is why you're here. Anyway, what we're talking about. Here, I decided to go close. Now we've got two engineers, we've got two dragon hunters, and we've got a necro as well. So, you know, the two engineers mid, not a lot of damage output, at least at close. I can definitely hold it if we've got any issues. You might say we haven't got an Ellie, so two NGs going mid might not be too bad. And at the moment, I can see an Ellie as well in that fight. So team fight's going to be tough anyway. So, what's going on this point? At the moment, he's running. It looks like a dagger build. And this Death Blossom is what you can see when he's spinning around and he's firing his daggers at me as well. And the bleeds can stack up quite a lot. And actually dodges, evades for about half a second while that's happening, while he's in the air. So, normally with these builds, I try and kite around. I try and move around as much as possible. I stealth up if I'm in trouble to make sure that I can get my heal off and actually make sure that I can heal back up successfully. Because sometimes, you know, that heal on the healing turret did get a bit of a cast time. So it can be interrupted from time to time. So I always try and stealth up when I'm going 1v1 versus specifically evade thief builds. Because there are so many, you know, Condi thief builds, power evade thief builds, especially with staff that we know about as well, like bounding thief as well, which is just the vaulting is just annoying, you know. And all you have to do is keep your distance. Try and kite around as much as possible, keep my swiftness uptime as much as possible as well, and things are good and fantastic. Now, we've got the Scrapper and the Guardian came and helped me over here because the fight at mid didn't go too well. So we clean up the altar point and we actually clean up two players there, which is not bad. I'm in stealth, obviously, but I did get rid of my gyro to make sure I come out and I can get the cap. Now, they've got two players out. They're still waiting to respawn and come into the map. So what do? Do we either go to mid or we go to far? So here, I already see someone's picked the opportunity to go to far, which isn't fantastic because two people are respawning, but we are winning mid as well, so that's good. Ellie is the main target, so I pull out my elixir gun and I put the poison on as much as possible. Now, I'm not sure if he used the heal there, so maybe probably should have waited. But here as well, we get a nice res as well. I pull out my stealth gyro and put my gyro on him, not allowing myself to get too hard pressured there as well, because people are going to be low HP when they're coming out with the res, and we continue on to the elementalist, sticking as much poison on him as I can, and the others are coming in with their own damage. Now, the Dragon Hunter is just killing himself. Defense field on this map for a Scrapper is probably one of the best things you can use. One, because of that very reason you saw there, especially if you're going versus Dragon Hunters and Thieves, anything with any ranged ability, Longbow Warrior, Longbow Ranger, or Druid. The projectile hate in Guild Wars 2 is amazing. It really stifles a lot of long range builds, which kind of sucks, but also at the same time, a Ranger pressing 2 on his Longbow can literally just kill you in almost, you know, a second or two. It's ridiculous. So that kind of thing is quite important. And like here as well, at Stillness. Now here, why didn't I use my gyro for stability? Why didn't I try and get some kind of stability or anything to help me, or block or anything to try and make sure that guy wasn't going to pull me? I got lucky there, in all honesty, that he pulled me over and it kind of bugged me into the air. Because, you know, most of the time you'd just be going downstairs and that would not be great. So now we're going to be 1v1 for a moment until the other Scrapper comes in as well. Now, staying in this 2v1 fight, not good, because at the moment you can see top left hand side of the screen, players are going down. Other two DHs are having major problems. So I decide to move out over towards mid to watch the cap. There's a person over on Stillness as well, the Scrapper and the Necro, and me moving mid was a good choice, because obviously over at the far point you can see we lost someone and the Revenant is now going to rotate into that fight. He could have equalised up on Stillness actually, but me going to mid was the best decision there. Here is blocking, of course. He's in a 1v2 on our catcher point. It's not great for him. Does he know anyone's coming in to help him? Hopefully he does, because otherwise he's just entered a really stupid part of the map and he's using a lot of his cooldowns. Here's the Ellie. Here's the other guy as well. I mean, this is not great for us. We've got Dragon Hunter. We're in an outnumbered fight. Unless someone comes in to help us as well, which could possibly start to happen. You can see the Scrapper finally starts to come over. The Thief again on their team has actually joined over towards the altar. So he's going to die. I mean, he's got no hope in hell of beating two Dragon Hunters, to be fair. So he's made a misrotation, a big misrotation. Now, I fear that we're actually going to lose this fight, even though we've got a fair amount of survivability, but an Ellie as well. And I'm hoping that the Dragon Hunters are going to start moving to mid, although someone has moved to our altar point and they just want to kill him out as well. So I actually move thinking that we're going to lose the mid point. So I've directed, obviously, the Dragon Hunters to get their butts to mid. And we've held it. Actually held it really well. The other Scrapper is actually doing fantastically well. 2 Scrappers in queue is a lot of support. You've got 2 great reses. You've got potentially 2 stealth gyros as well. And me going to far, in the end, wasn't even too bad. I tried to stop the thief there. In the end, he will have to move on point. And again, it's this Death Blossom guy that's coming in. And in the end, it's just too much for me. Having the Revenant and the Thief is just awful. So, like a Condi and a Power, I'm definitely going to go down here. I've got no real big cooldowns left. I could have gone Rocket Charged out the door as well, but as soon as that would have happened, I would have just got jumped on again. So here, the mistake I'm going to judge myself on is not dying on the capture point. Now, luckily enough, I do use my third ability when I'm down to make sure that he gets knocked off the point. So for a second, he doesn't get that capture point. Things like that are really important. Dying on capture points when it's neutral, to stop them getting caps, like to stop them capping the point in the first place, it's just a small tiny way that you can extend your lead, especially if you've got the lead, or halt their point income for a tiny amount of time. And even if you've died, you can actually die in an intelligent place. Unfortunately, I didn't. So respawn, I'm going to go Stillness, 310 points to 210, and that keeps rising. Stillness, no one from their team has gone for Stillness. If the buffs come up on Temple of the Silent Storm, you need to pay attention to them because they're important. If you're behind and you've got 1 capture point and they've got 2, you can grab Stillness to equalize up the amount of point income for both teams. It's very, very vital. Same for Tranquility. Now, I know that 2 guys have gone down there. That's a Scrapper and a Dragon Hunter. I don't need to be down there yet. They've committed 3 people. I may need to go down soon. The Necro is actually guarding our close point, which is what I mentioned as well. Potentially as something that that he could do. I do believe I just pointed that out on the map to him as well. The Ellie's going to that point versus the Necro. Thing is, I know here they're about to cap it. Both our guys have gone downstairs and they've died. I'm just waiting for the point to be... I'm waiting for the buff to actually be capped. And throughout this whole time, we've still been capping points. I'm just waiting here until it gets actually capped downstairs. And it's taking a long time. So at this point in time, you could argue that I've been... that I've kind of wasted a lot of time. Thing is, I get back on the catch point. Not sure what happened there. I think I got taken out a little bit by the actual knockback. Recapping the point. Our home node is obviously captured in favour of the red team because the Ellie's planted himself on that versus their Necro. And now, really, what the rest of our team should have done is probably go to mid because they've not got a massive amount of support there. They've got the Elementalist. Unfortunately, our team decides to go towards close, which isn't the best idea in the world, to be fair. Again, we get this thief. You can see the Condi's building up on me. Thankfully, I'm doing okay. Versus the 1v1 versus thieves, and should really be winning, in all honesty, other than that like dodge, vault, horrible piece of crap build. I haven't got that much Condi removal either, so even Condi builds are quite nasty. And now the Dragon Hunter comes up as well. So over on this side of the map, I've decided to stay. Is that a good idea? Who knows? You'll have to wait and see. Dodge through that trap to make sure I don't get any of the cripple and whatnot on me as well. And still getting knocked back out of the point. And that's going to be, unfortunately, me losing the capture point. Now, versus a thief and a Dragon Hunter, that's not the end of the world, because... if I move off point, then chances are Thief's not going to be able to cap it, and maybe the Dragon Hunter's going to chase me as well. He keeps nipping off node, and thankfully for me, that means that I can decap every so often. Unfortunately, Elixir S proc is not going to be great, because I go into the downstate, and with conditions, we all know what that means if you're a Scrapper. It means the end of the world, and the end of your life. So now, I'm in a predicament. And we're at 450 points. The game looks like it's pretty much in our favour, but... players are only just respawning and the map is slowly changing hands. 4-5-2, you think that you've got the game. But that's 1 capture point. That's 2 capture points. Mid is not looking too great either. Stillness is up. Where am I going to go? I have to deny this. If I don't deny this, it's massive. I try, but I fail massively again. For the second time on this map, I fail. I don't try anything to try and evade that. I can see it coming out, but my reaction was too slow to dodge, or to at least block or something to make sure I don't get pulled down. That costs us a lot of points and is my fault, and I can fully admit that. Now look at the capture, look at the points on the top of the screen. They've got stillness and 2 caps. We have had nothing for a couple of minutes now. This is really a big changing point in the game, to the point where we will lose this if something big doesn't happen right now. Now, I'm on the far cap. I have 2.5k HP versus 2 people. This is reliant upon no one coming to help me, and me not dying as well. So here, I am using as much of the scenery around to make sure that I can survive, and to draw 2 people out while the rest of our team try and cap the rest of the map as well by the fact that they're outnumbering me, and totally taking advantage of that. And people do this a lot. So at the end of the game, sometimes when we're about to lose potentially, I do this because 9 times out of 10, people will overcommit. I am now 1 versus 2. I have taken down the thief. I poisoned him as well. Now stealthing, and now it's the dragon hunter's turn to go down. A lot tougher than it used to be. I take him out. I actually go for a fall down there because I know he's used his stealth and he's actually used his move as well. I'm not sure if he used that other stuff. But now I've got the dragon hunter down to half HP. I take a lot of damage from that sword as well, actually, but just poisoning him, keeping that pressure on, acid bomb, and he sits right in it. And that is, to be fair, like that projectile well, I'm surprised I won this 1v2. I am very surprised I won this. I played it okay. It wasn't spectacular, but this play, in my opinion, won us the game. Like, this was actually I'm actually completely forgot that this was this game. But me coming towards this side of the map and winning that 1v2 was massive. This mid-fight is fine. It's neutral. We've got the point in neutral actually at the moment, and it has been for a while. Maybe not getting massive amount of kills and whatnot, but it's neutral at least. They've not got any point income, and they are committing players to close. Now I'm versus the Revenant, and I'm just like, next, please, buddy. And he's already down to about 20% HP, and unfortunately in the end for him, that is going to be that. And the last kill on that point, in the end, I beat 3 people in total on that node. You can see my wife in the bottom left hand corner. So I'm quite proud of that. I played awfully around stillness, and to be fair, I made up for it when I went to far. Now I'm not saying you should go to far every time, and that's what you should do, and sucker in 2 people. I'm just saying that those are the moments where you need to make some big decisions, because you could lose a game that you're winning by 150 to 200 points. And just thinking about the rotations and looking at the map and what you can possibly do really is massively important, especially at that point of the game where they've got a capture point and no one's going near it. You need to attempt something. It depends on your class, it depends on your build, it depends on so many things. But that time I did get lucky by the fact that they just purely overcommitted. So I hope this was useful. I don't know if I judged myself too much, but defense field good. This is a power NG build. I'm normally playing actually a lot more Condi engineer. But I actually think I probably would have lost that if I was playing Condi NG, because the survivability helped me out. I've been Jebro. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon. Take care. And don't forget to like this video as well and subscribe, because it really supports the channel. Thanks guys. See you soon.